Hello everyone and welcome back to the show. In today's video we've got a slightly different kind of topic, and that is how to analyze your games. It's something that I've been trying to refine now for quite a while, and I think I've finally come across the best way to do it. So normally what I'd do is I'd just hop on the analysis board, and then just go through the computer moves. But the issue with that is that you don't really remember anything and you don't really pay attention. I mean, maybe you'll go through the game and look at a few key moves, maybe do the request analysis and look at the big changes. But other than that, nothing really sticks. And so, what I've started doing recently is using Lichess studies as a way to just build up sort of knowledge around certain games. So I'll just show you quickly how to analyze your game and put it into a study. So I mean, there are a few ways you can put it into a study, but I mean, the easiest one, just go here to analysis board. Um, okay, it's already given me the computer analysis and whatever, but if we just press this button here and go to study, you can create study, and then yeah, here you go. You have your game inside the study. You can call it whatever you want. If you click this button, you can call I don't know. I mean, this game was Mora declined, so you can call it whatever you kind of want. And also, I recommend putting it on invite only. This is just so that other people looking at your profile won't be able to see your analysis, which is beneficial for many reasons. For example, if someone's looking you up to prepare against you, they can't see your private studies that you've done. And yeah, from there you can just press save and then just go through the game simply. I recommend going through it without a computer to begin with, and then afterwards going through it with a computer. You'll see why. Yeah, so as we see, as we see, just going through, we have a Mora declined. This is pretty much theory. This is all from a book that I know. Just taking here, and after this, I haven't seen this move before, and so from here we enter a new position. So what we do here is new position, and then well, for me, and then so this is the comment box, and so whenever we type anything in this comment box, it will come up here on the side, and this is very, very useful because when we come back to this game in the future, now we can now we can see our thought process, and we can even hear with this one with the exclamation mark and question mark. We can also add this, which means novelty, which is a new move that we haven't seen before. We can also add, after like good moves and stuff like this, we can add all these other different things like this. We can actually add multiple things at once, like this. But here I'm just going to add novelty because that's the only one that applies in this position. And we keep going. So here, C4, again, we want to add as much analysis as we possibly can. And so my thought process behind this move was to kick this knight away, for example, because this knight here, it controls many of these key squares. This bishop can't actually get out. It has no good squares. And also combined with having to protect this pawn, this bishop doesn't have too much of a future. And so the thought process behind this is what I'll say in this comment box again. Wanting to kick out the knight because, well, this knight is on a very, very nice square. But also something this move here does, c4, is it gives my knight a very nice square. Also gives my knight the c3 square. Just so in future I can see, if I wanted to know why I played this move. Now I can see it also gives my knight the c3 square, and I wanted to kick out this. So that's why I played it. Other moves in this position, to be honest, in the game I wasn't really thinking about much else. Maybe coming this way like this. Here we can use a little bit of computer analysis. Okay, yeah, here we see there are a few ideas in the position. This is what the computer likes. Simply just developing, I imagine. Maybe putting some pressure on here. So we can say this computer recommendation. I never know how to spell recommendation. I think it's double M there, isn't it? Computer recommendation, simple development. And then from here, just maybe, I mean, it gives some strange moves like this, but I mean, this is good enough just to see what the computer is. But I mean, again, the move that I played makes a lot of sense, and the computer doesn't mind it. So turning off the evaluation for the rest of the game, coming here to again kick the knight, because now this pawn is hanging. But in this position, I didn't want to take, because in this kind of position, this is the only move here for the queen, and I felt like this was more than enough compensation for the pawn. Felt like this was compensation for the pawn, so I didn't, I can't type today, want to go into this line. And then we can just double check again with the computer. Yeah, again, the computer agrees. Even though I'm up a pawn, it gives it about even, which normally means there's compensation. So I can say computer agrees. Yeah, so I didn't quite want to go into this variation. Instead, I play here, rook d1. Seems like a fairly fine and logical move. Putting pressure here, because now after black's move here, now I felt I could take, because after something like this just simply drops a piece, and so yeah, I can take the pawn. So I just say drops a piece. Now that the rook attacks, now that the rook defends. Yeah, so I felt like this was a fine line to go into. In the game, my opponent plays here and I play here. Now just trying to advance the pawns. And after my opponent plays this, I mean, this is the only move. And after this trade, I was fine with this trade. I'll say that here as well. Fine with trade, as I have better pawn structure and an endgame would favor me, I felt like. Yeah, and so I wasn't, sometimes when you're fianchettoed, you don't want to give up your bishop, your fianchettoed bishop, but here I felt like this was completely fine, because, yeah, like I said, these pawns are just going to decide the game. And so after something like this, again, I did look at moves like this, but I felt like this was just. Well, actually, I'd need to come here first, wouldn't I? But I felt like this was just doing too much, just sacking the exchange. And I mean, maybe there's compensation here, but yeah, I felt like this just wasn't enough. Yeah. Thought about sacrificing the exchange, but didn't see a clear win. Better to just play simple. So here I'm basically reminding myself in the future. I mean, I did look at these lines, because I mean it'd be rude not to look at the exchange sacrifice. But again, just reminding my future self that it's better just to play simple in this kind of position, in case I wanted to look over this game again. Here again, trading pieces. I felt like trading pieces favors me, because again, this endgame, I've got the protected pass pawn. This should be completely fine. Trading pieces favors me, as trading pieces favors me as I have a protected passed pawn and a one end game. There we go. Yeah, so that's what I thought there, and now I'm just centralizing my pieces. And then from here, I think I just start pushing the pawns. Yeah, this makes sense. Pushing pawns to create an advantage. And then from here, yeah, I mean, I play my knight back to defend any chances my opponent has, and then yeah, just queening, and then from here my opponent with 7.5 minutes just runs their clock instead of resigning, which is very annoying, but it happens. Yeah, so overall thoughts on the game, very clean. Yeah, and now this is where I would go through with the computer analysis. So here we can give this, get this button, and then request a computer analysis. Other things you can do with this study, you can add members. So if you have a coach, for example, it would be very useful to just click this number, click this button, and then username, add someone, add your coach. And yeah, you can add a new chapter. You can say you had another game. You can do that as well. So here, for example, in the Mora Declined, if I had another game in the Mora Declined, I'd add it to this study, and then yeah, that would come up here as a new chapter, and I would have essentially my own database of Mora Declined games, which I could go through if I wanted to study in the future. Yeah, so once we have this study, the main thing, I don't pay too much attention to this thing on the side here. What I pay attention to is this. So if there's any major dips in the evaluation, so here we see the only real major dip in the evaluation is here. And that was after this B4 move. And yeah, and so let's have a look at this B4 move. So what was so bad about this move? Let's turn on the engine, and oh, okay, this makes a lot of sense. Here we see, yeah, it's a double attack, threatening this, and after something like this, again, if my internet will allow, essentially, I think that the idea is the queen is still attacking here, which would pick up this bishop and attack my king, so it would fork both. So I can't defend both threats of my rook and here at once. Is I think the idea there. So yeah, that was an oversight on my part, and yeah, the computer instead recommends just dropping my queen back, and after something like this, just playing fairly simply. Because again, I'm a pawn up. I've already won the pawn, so now I can just start pushing these pawns. So yeah, that's essentially my thought process and how I analyze my games. Oh, my Lichess has just reconnected. But yeah, I think in the future I'm going to try and build up a big database of all of my different openings and add all of my different games to each different database. This seems like a very, very superior way of analyzing your games, because instead of just going through it once and then forgetting about it and then probably making the same mistake again in the future, this way we can record our game somewhere and then have an actual live database that we can use in the future to make sure we don't repeat mistakes, which is essentially how you learn in chess. You make mistakes and then you don't repeat them. Yeah, and so with that, that's pretty much this video. I think I'm going to make a few more videos about this in the future because I find this quite interesting, and like I said, I'm learning as well. I want to create my own database, and so I'm going to take you guys through that thought process. So if that sounds good, make sure to subscribe. Also, if you want my one-to-one help when maybe you're making your Lichess studies, you can add me as a contributor, and I'll go through. We can hop on calls together. I'm gonna help you reach whatever rating it is. I said at the moment, my offer at the moment, is that I will get you to 1800 no matter your starting elo. So that will take obviously different amounts of time depending on your starting elo, but I will get you to 1800 or your money back, or I will work for you for free until you do. And yeah, so check out the top link in the description if that sounds good for you. Yeah, check out my Instagram also in the description, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, see you in the next one. Goodbye. Mwah.